My name is Zandi once again, and the name of this channel is Journey to Purpose TV. I just want to show you, today is actually Sunday and I'm at church. Believe it or not, I'm at church. They are celebrating Spring Day today, but I thought I should steal away from the noise and just create this video that has been in my heart for so long. This is just one part of the church. In fact, it's not even a tip of the iceberg of what the whole church is made of. But I thought, let me steal to this quiet area so that I can talk to you about this matter that is burning in my heart. I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my voice, but let's see if I can put this light on. Is it working? I'm not sure, but I'll try to stand here and I'll sit at some stage. The issue I want to talk to you about is about a marriage that I entered myself into that is now posing itself as a snare in my life. In 2012, and I might make other videos that are connected to this, but in 2012, I got married to one of the passport brothers. You know, with YouTube, you cannot mention certain names, so let me just call him a passport brother for now. And I'm not saying it's wrong to do so, because I know there are marriages with passport brothers that have worked, but unfortunately mine wasn't one of them. So it so happened, and I won't even mention the country that the brother was coming from, and it's not the country that you suspect. I know mostly when someone says I was married to a passport brother or I'm married to a passport brother, a certain country comes to mind, but this is one of those that you don't even suspect. The marriage lasted 6 months and we separated after 6 months. And after we separated, each one went their own way due to the things that were happening at that time. I ended up in a shelter because at some stage the guy became very abusive. So when I went to report to the police took me to a shelter for abused women. I just want to apologize. I don't know why my voice is husky today. So after I went to the shelter, I didn't know the guy. We were running a shop in my home city where we were staying in town. And okay, this light is not doing me justice. Let me switch it off. Yeah, better. We're running a shop, and at some stage I found out that he had locked the shop, put different padlocks on. I didn't know his whereabouts and stuff like that. That was after I had come back from the shelter, because he had begged me to come back, saying he will try to do things better. Little did I know that he was setting me up for a bigger surprise. So it was just a normal day. I had gone to the library to do the reading that I usually do some days. And the brother locked up the shop and left. I didn't know his whereabouts. So what happened, it so happened that he had gone back to his country for one reason or another. He had gone back to his country for one reason or another, and I discovered that I was pregnant after he had already left. But at the time, I tried to call him immediately and told him the situation, told him that I expect his support and all that. But after that, he decided to change his numbers and stuff like that. He changed the contact details I knew of his family, of him, and there was only one friend I could get hold of that I told him the story to, and so that he can relay the story to him and that I need his support. Apparently, the friend had called him, and when the friend got back to me, he said, no, the guy is saying I shouldn't give you his new numbers and stuff like that. And then the friend said he had gone back to his country, and I didn't believe it. So I went to Home Affairs, Immigrations, to check his movement on the system. and they really confirmed that he had gone back to his country. So here am I with a pregnancy, alone, unemployed, because remember we were running a shop together. So I don't know what he did to the shop, but I suspect that he sold it to one of his friends or one of his homeboys without my knowledge. I tried to divorce him that same year that he had left, to no avail, because I was unemployed. I went to the magistrate court. They sent me to legal aid, that they no longer advertise marriages if someone doesn't know the whereabouts of the person. They no longer advertise, so I need to appoint a lawyer. And since I'm unemployed, therefore legal aid is my best bet, which I did. I went to legal aid, and legal aid, to be honest with you, the person was helping me more than telling me this is what we do, this is what we don't do. Instead, the person started criticizing me. I'm sorry, the camera is moving up and down. Sorry. Started criticizing me that you get married to these people, and then when the marriages don't work, you involve us, you want us to sort your problems and stuff like that. And I was thinking, to me, it's not only marriage with far people from faraway countries that don't work. Even marriages with local people like South Africans, they also don't work. But it is taken as something that is normal. But when it comes to a point where you have been married to a person from a faraway country and the marriage doesn't work, you get stigmatized. It's because of this, it's because of that. And I know there are brothers from faraway countries that use ladies, local ladies, in marriages and stuff like that. But then I wish they would use discretion in each case, because to be honest with you, each case is different. So to sum up the whole story, today it's been 10 years since I separated from that guy. I've attempted divorce 7 times. I've been turned down all those times because of someone who has left me, who has deserted me, who obviously no longer wants to be part of the marriage. But in my own country, I have been discriminated against, I have been stigmatized, I've been called names by certain institutions. I went to the DHA, the Department of Home Affairs. They couldn't. I don't know on what grounds does a marriage get annulled, but after 10 years, someone has left and they still prohibit me from being from being divorced from that person. I feel like it's not on. There's something somewhere that is not going right. So last week, Tuesday, on the 12th of September, was the 7th time I went to attempt this divorce. I went to 3 institutions. I started at Home Affairs, because what happened at some stage, I realized that maybe I'm unable to divorce this person because I still use his surname. So I tried to change the surname back to my maiden name and try to make a new ID book with my maiden name. So they changed the surname on the system. And then when I went to make a new ID book, I was told that they need a copy of the guy's passport. And I didn't have. We separated 10 years ago, remember? And to tell you the truth, even if I had that copy, it wouldn't have worked, because the Department of Home Affairs doesn't use expired passports. He made his passport in 2012, right? And it would have expired in 2017, because it was 5 years. They take 5 years in their country. But even if they took 10 years last year, it would have expired. That means even if I was holding the copy of the passport with me, it wouldn't have worked, because it would have expired already. So you see, someone has left. right? Marriages break, whether you are married to a person from a faraway country or from a local person. Some marriages, they take 3 months. With a person who resides in South Africa, you're both South Africans. I know marriages that take 3 months, and they've never been given an issue when they want to separate, when they want to divorce. But I have been ostracized, if I may put it like that. I left the court crying last week. I left the the legal aid department crying. You could see the lady. More than that, they were not doing what I was asking for. She was having an attitude towards me. And it's usually the case in my country for free services. If people know that it's a free service that you require, they will give you an attitude. Some, they will even block you from getting that free service, whether you qualify for it or not. They don't even attempt to go an extra mile to say, how can we help this woman? Okay, we know that we do 1, 2, 3, but her case is different. That is my plea right now to government departments. At least look at cases with discretion. Because in my case, this person left 10 years ago. Whether he's coming in and out of the country holding the marriage certificate, pretending to be still married to me, I don't know. But what I know is that he left me 10 years ago. And obviously, anyone deserves to be free from such a marriage. In fact, if anyone asks for a divorce, they deserve to be given that divorce, because it's a decision they are making not to be part of that marriage anymore. And in my case, this particular guy expressed his disinterest in the marriage by leaving me and leaving the country. So why must I stay 10 years married to one person who's non-existent, who's no longer there, who obviously doesn't want the marriage? To tell you the truth, I attempted the marriage in Johannesburg, and at some stage at legal aid, they just told me the case was closed for no apparent reason. You must reapply. At the court, they gave me their own story that we don't advertise anymore. You must appoint a lawyer. If you're unemployed, go to legal aid. And legal aid gave me their own attitude. When I was relocated to PE, I attempted the same thing. Magistrate court, legal aid, to no avail. At some stage, because it's 10 years, right? Some of us, we don't stay in one place. We try life here and there. I moved to East London. Magistrate court, legal aid, they tell me the same thing. And last week, I went to DHA. I went to plead with immigrations. At least they must write me something from the system to say if the guy is still out of the country or not. They refused. They mentioned the POPIA Act, but they can see the marriage certificate that I'm married to this guy, right? So why block me from having that kind of information? At least to take it around. They wouldn't even allow me to take it to their office downstairs where they make ID books, to show them that this guy is no longer in the country and the passport would have expired anyway, even if I had a copy, so that those guys can help me make an ID book in my maiden name. But they wouldn't do that. From there, I went to the court, which the court says, no, if if you don't know the whereabouts of the person, we do not advertise anymore. We only help with cases where you know where the person is or where the person works, and then we send the summons there. But in your case, since you don't know, it needs substituted service, which you can only do it through a lawyer. And since you cannot appoint a lawyer, then you need the services of legal aid. Therefore, you must go to legal aid. When I went to legal aid, it was like the lady knew me from a long time. She started by giving me an attitude before telling me what they do, what they don't do. It was like she knew me for a long time. I started telling him that I don't know. I mean, people, if they don't want to be known, if they don't want to be known where they are, if they don't want to be seen, they hide themselves. So what do I do with someone who has hidden himself? I don't feel right that I must be punished for someone who has hidden himself. So I don't know if any one of you has gone through such a thing, but to sum up the story, those 3 places, they denied me the divorce, or they denied to help me in any way. So I went out of those places crying. And the lady who was helping me at legal aid said, "You are not the only one. That means you must stay. If you are married for 10 years, you must stay. What about meeting someone and he has interest in me? How do I take that further when I'm still hooked up with someone who is non-existent, who is not there, who decided to leave?" I mean, that does not make sense. For people who make policies, I think they should involve the people who are affected by these policies. If you've never been through a situation and you're about to make a policy about a certain thing, I think take 1 or 2 people who've been affected by such a case, so that you know when you make policies how to go about do so. Don't make policies on behalf of people who have gone through a situation when you have never been through a situation, when you don't know what it is they're experiencing. Because the lady started telling me that you are not the only one. So, which means we must stay like that. We mustn't remarry when it is our right to do so. We mustn't love again when it is our right to do so. In my case, I'm unable to love anyone. What if the person has interest and wants to take the interest further? I'm still hooked to someone else. What do I tell the person? So this is really unfair. I wish our authorities can look into this. And I'm sorry, I usually smile in my videos, but this particular one doesn't allow me to smile. I'm sorry for that. If you've been through the same thing, if you have experienced the same thing, please drop your thoughts or your experiences or even your advice. Tell me, where can I go to, since these 3 places can help me, where to take my case to. If anyone is watching, or you can share with friends, with others in authority whom you know can help in this particular case, share with them. Drop your comments down, please, and please like this video and share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel. That is my request to you. I thank you for this opportunity to have made this video, because it's been something that was bothering me for a long time. Now I'm happy that I managed to voice myself out. And another thing I'm happy about is to be able to give you a different environment. I know I usually make my videos inside in my place somewhere, but at least now I am giving you a different environment of this video, and that really makes my heart happy. So I love you all, guys, and please take care of yourselves. If you've married to a passport brother, let us call them that for now, for the sake of YouTube, and you've been through a case that is complicated like mine, how did you resolve it? Please advise me. I need your help. Bye.